all salute to Katt Williams and Shannon Sharp for interviewing Katt Williams and Shannon Sharp. Without both of them being exactly who they are, that could not have happened. That viral moment they broke the internet could not have happened. And my video that followed up to their interview would not have performed as well as it's performing. What I mean by that is, besides Shannon and I having completely different interview styles, all the comedians that previously made comments on Shannon's show that Katt took offense to were part of a bigger thing. Katt went to that show with a chip on his shoulder. I did not have that dynamic. I've interviewed many comedians, but most of the comedians, most of the people that Katt spoke on, well, at least several people that he had spoken on had been on Club Shay Shay already. And Katt took offense to some of the things that they said. And so he went there with a chip on his shoulder. Now, I could not have planned something like that. If Katt had came on my show and started going off like that, I probably would have dialed it back, because invariably people are going to have differences. They're going to come on the show, they're going to have differences with people, and they're going to speak on it from time to time. But I have a slightly different style when it comes to things like that. I try to get an understanding when there's beef between people that I know, or even when there's a situation where I'm unfamiliar with and there's drama and I know about it. If I speak on it, I try to quell the noise. I try to dial it back and try to get an understanding. Understanding that you're not always going to get an understanding.
And that's so
Sometimes
true.
People just don't like people, and that's the way it's going to be.
And that's so true.
Like I said, most of the time, if something like that happens, I'm going to try to dial it back. Unless it's somebody I just don't like Steve Harvey.
I spoke on this last night, remember?
Me and Katt and Mark Curry got that in common. We don't rock with that dude. And so if Katt would have started speaking on him on my show, get him. Unwind, let it loose, let it go. But it would not still have been the same style interview, because if you pay attention to both interviews, my interview was more about Katt Williams, the man, the person, his upbringing, his triumphs, his setbacks, than other comedians. Shannon interview that he did was explosive. I don't think I could have captured that if he had came on my show and I had put that, if I had that same type of energy from him. I don't think y'all would have gotten 40, 50 million views from that, because that's just simply not my style. When I do interviews, I try to get to know the guests.
So Willie D, as well as Shannon Sharp, they both interviewed Katt Williams. Willie D and Shannon Sharp both interviewed Katt Williams. It was different atmospheres and different type of questions, but both interviews was excellent.
But bigger than all of this, some of the biggest complaints that some of y'all are having is, well, you ask the same questions that Shannon asked, da-da-da. What most of y'all don't have any idea of is my interview was done prior to Shannon releasing his interview. I did the interview first. In fact, I spoke with Katt a couple of days ago, and he revealed to me that he did the Shannon Sharp interview after. Now, I had the interview in the can for a couple of months. The reason why I was holding it is because I have a new venture that is launching this month. And my plan was to put out the Katt Williams interview at the top of the year and use it to launch my new venture. To go with that interview first. I got a lot of other explosive interviews. You see, the Mark Curry interview is out right now. Dope, super dope interview. But I was going to launch with the Katt Williams interview. When I looked up and saw Shannon had already put out his interview, which I had no idea that he had an interview on Katt. Katt told me about that. Katt said that he should have gave me a heads up that he had did that the Shannon interview was coming, but I guess he didn't really think to give me a heads up because he was thinking to himself, well, you've been sitting on the interview a couple of months, I don't know what he's gonna do, whatever, but I'm going to do this interview with Shannon. So when I saw the Shannon interview, my first reaction is, whoa, like everybody else. But from a business standpoint, I'm going, whoa, because now this throws a monkey wrench into my business plans. So my first instinct is to hold the interview for 2 or 3 months. That's what I was going to do. I was going to hold the interview for 2 or 3 months and wait till all of this stuff cooled down. I was going to hold it and wait till all of this stuff cooled down. But then I said, well, what if I hold it and somebody else beat me to the punch again?
So Willie D basically held the interview.
My interview. Now, as I said, you could take that exact same interview and put it out, and it still wouldn't have done the type of numbers that Shannon did because that was a different dynamic at play.
Drop a one if y'all seen both interviews. Drop a one if you seen the Katt Williams interview that he done with Shannon Sharp. Drop a one if y'all seen the interview that he done with Willie D. Drop a one.
Something that don't happen. 40, 50 million views for one video, an interview, that don't happen for podcasts in the podcast world. That was a juggernaut. So when I decided to put my interview out, here y'all come. Well, why you wait till Shannon put his interview out before you put yours out? You cloud chasing.
I spoke on this
your silly ass
last night. Listen.
What you have done. Let's say you got a Katt Williams interview in the can, and somebody dropped a video, and the video go haywire.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Folks always got something to say about what you do. They always got something to say about the moves that you make. Listen, y'all.
Or would you go, you know what? Shit, man, the wave is already in the water. Let me ride this damn thing.
That's right, Willie.
The wave is already in the water. Let me get on it.
That's right, Willie.
I have no shame for doing it. What would you have done as a businessman?
Exactly. I'd have done the same thing you done, Willie.
If you would have done anything different, I would believe that you are lying ass. And if you would have done anything different, it would explain why you probably are not good at business.
Talk it.
You are probably struggling.
Talk it, Willie. I see your cracks too, positive vibes. I see your cracks down there, positive vibes.
Cloud chasing. I already got clout, sucker.
Tell him, Willie. I already got clout.
I don't chase nothing.
Tell him, Willie.
I got to burn on me. I got to get me surgery. So I ain't chasing nothing.
Folks always trying to tell you what they would have done and what you should have done.
Many of the same people who was talking down on Shannon. Y'all remember when Shannon's video first, before I dropped my video, how so much energy was focused on how bad Shannon's interview was? His interview skills, and he ain't talking enough. He asking the wrong questions. Y'all remember that?
I remember.
All of a sudden, they on my page saying how Shannon should have gotten that interview.
Yep.
He should have went to Shannon and did Club Shay Shay.
Yep.
How Shannon did the interview was so much better.
Yep.
That it's the same people who was talking shit about Shannon is over here talking shit about me.
Yep.
Let me tell y'all something. I ain't no damn journalist. Never claimed to be. Never ever once said that I was a journalist. I cover news, but to me, a journalist is somebody who went to school and got a degree to do it. You know, perhaps I'm wrong in my definition, but that's, you know, like a person that's learned that went to school and to do all of this stuff. That ain't my style. I ain't no damn Ed Bradley. Don't bring y'all asses over to my channel looking for some Ed Bradley shit, because you ain't gonna get it. I don't care. Don't come over here. Don't bring your ragged ass over here looking for no Shannon Sharp shit. You ain't gonna get it.
Positive vibes. He's sounding like me.
Or hate.
He using that A word.
I got my own lane.
Tell him, Willie D. Tell him.
I would advise you to do you.
Tell him, Willie D. I got my own lane.
Our asses are just messy.
That's
right. I see it. Some of y'all are just messy.
Come on, Willie.
Y'all want the drama.
Come on, Willie.
But I don't do drama.
Come on, Willie.
Through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. I don't even necessarily do interviews. I have conversations. And when you have conversations, sometimes you're going to mispronounce a word.
Come on, Willie. Come on.
Unfortunately, we mispronounced a word and we looked it in the editing. And the word was prosperity. And I think I said prosperity. Now, obviously, I know how to pronounce prosperity, but they all in the comments. You don't even know how to talk.
Come on, Willie D.
1, 2, 3. Prosperity. Like y'all dumbasses ain't never made a mistake.
Come on, Willie.
Obviously, I know how to pronounce prosperity. I wrote a political satire column for Vice.com. I wrote for 4.5 years an advice column for the Houston Press. Complex Magazine have come to me for articles that I have published. My editor told me many times that I was the best writer he's ever had. And I'm not even educated in writing like that. I'm self-taught.
Tell him, Willie.
I didn't go to college for all of that. I learned by listening, watching, and doing. My editor told me I was the best writer he had ever had. And I think the Houston Press at that time had been around about 40 years. Because when I would deliver my articles, there was very little editing that needed to be done. I delivered 4 responses every single week for 4.5 years. Never missed a week. Discipline. 4.5 years, I delivered that column. Those articles for that column. For 4.5 years, every single week. Didn't skip 1 week. And at the most, he's probably had to edit anything that I've done 2 or 3 times a month. Now, any of you scholars out there know that's damn good work. That's damn good. My interview style is having conversations with interesting people. I like to sit down and have conversations with interesting people. That's what I do. Conversations. No, I don't have no cue cards. I ain't nothing wrong with cue cards, but I'm not even good with cue cards. I like to have a conversation just go off the top of the head. I don't want to ask something structured because sometimes you can have questions, that gets answered, as you go along, or that you might have a question on your cue card that as you have the conversation, you realize that question ain't even necessary.
Bingo.
So now you might stumble over somewhere. It takes you longer to answer this question than you need to take. It takes longer than it needs to take. So I don't do cue cards. I'm better just coming off the top of the dome, having a conversation with someone, just like if I was to call a friend and talk on the phone about various issues, problems, or subject matters.
And that's how I operate, y'all.
So
I come off the dome.
When I asked Katt Williams about Ali Sadiq, let's get to that.
Listen.
Some of y'all was like, well, who is Ali Sadiq? He ain't nobody, never heard of him. I ain't never heard of Ali Sadiq. Who is that? That ain't nobody. He ain't nobody. He ain't nobody to you.
Talk, Willie.
He mean the world to a lot of people.
Talk, Willie. Talk.
I know people. I learn of new people every day on the internet.
Talk,
that
Willie.
I've never heard of.
Exactly.
And I look up, and this person got 5 million followers.
Exactly.
10 million subscribers.
Exactly. Because you never heard of that person. Don't mean that person ain't popping.
That's how big the World Wide Web is.
Exactly. Exactly.
You ain't heard of somebody don't mean that they're not somebody.
Talk, Willie. Talk, Willie.
Some of y'all be talking like y'all just the shit. Like
talk, Willie.
Type of major authority on interviewing.
Come on, Willie.
Like y'all just the interview police. Like how dare you stumble on that word? How dare you not look at what's going on with your lighting? Y'all ass to be looking at all kinds of shit, commenting and laughing and giggling and stuff.
Tell him, Willie.
Get on Willie D platform, and you watch a Willie D interview, and now everything just wrong.
Tell him, Willie.
Y'all don't like my clothes. Y'all don't like my nose. You don't like my head.
I go through the same thing, Willie.
Head. You don't like the lighting. You don't like the sound.
I go through the same thing, Willie. Now, it's okay when y'all roasting me. I just want y'all to know. It's okay when y'all roasting me because I allow that. But some of y'all got a problem with everything that I do. I'm not talking about the roasting. I love when y'all roast me. So keep the roasting coming. But a lot of y'all got a problem with everything that I do. Come on, Willie.
We got all these burgers. Hey, you got nothing but burgers up on the damn menu. That's all they got is burgers on the menu. This is trash ass place. I don't know. Some of y'all might do that. Some of y'all so slow, you might do it. Many people find the stock market news to be boring. It's slow. It's pregnant pauses in a lot of the conversations. Many people find it boring to read the stock market. Many people find it boring to watch it. But guess what? Most of the people who follow the stock market do pretty good financially. Most of the people who can sit down and listen to a Willie D interview do pretty well socially. That's right, I said it. Some of y'all are just uncivilized mutts who are too hot in the head, too hot in the ass to slow down and listen to a relaxed conversation.
Wake them up, Willie.
Between people. Talk
to him, Willie.
You want to hear the mess. You want to hear the drama. Action about it. You don't care nothing about the guests. You don't care nothing about how Katt. Y'all fake it. Some of y'all straight up fake it.
Come on, Willie.
Y'all don't care nothing about Katt Williams.
Come on, Willie.
Y'all don't care how Katt Williams grew up.
Come on.
You don't care nothing about the struggles that Katt Williams had.
Come on. Some of y'all don't care about Shank Rock.
Katt Williams and people out.
Some of y'all don't care about Shank
Rock.
Rock.
Nothing about that man's health.
Wake him up. Don't care nothing about my health.
His safety.
Come on, Willie. Don't care nothing about my safety.
You're faking.
Come on, Willie.
Y'all like drama.
Come on, Willie.
That's what it is. You like drama. You want drama. When Katt said that I was the worst, that I had the worst questions ever, some of you uncivilized nuts couldn't wait to run into the comments. Yeah, Katt even said he had the worst questions answered.
Come on, Willie.
Worst questions answered ever. Some of y'all made videos. Katt checks Willie D. Who the hell gonna come on my show and check me?
I ain't met a man alive to check Willie D.
I got the editing. At the end of the day, I control the editing. You think I'm gonna let somebody make me look bad? And on top of that,
say it again. You think I'm gonna let somebody make me look bad?
Is a thinker.
You think I'm gonna let somebody make me look bad? Nah. I'm gonna let it play out. Whereas though I ain't got to open my mouth, because when I let it play out, they just expose themselves. You feel me? You think I'm gonna let somebody play me? Nah, negative.
Katt don't sit down with anybody. He don't sit down with just anybody. And he's not gonna sit down with you unless he do his homework on you. Katt told me that he had watched other videos of mine already. But before that, Katt already was familiar with me as an artist, as a person. He was already familiar with me. So he wasn't going to just sit down with anybody. So why would he sit down? If he's seen my interviews already, he already seen my interviews. If he already know how I rock, he already know what kind of person I am. He know my reputation. Why would he sit down with me and say, you asked the worst question ever? Why would he sit down with a person who asks the worst questions ever? Why would he purposely do that? See, some of y'all asses, that was a tongue-in-cheek response. When he said you asked the worst questions ever, I did what most rational people do when he said that. I gave him the benefit of doubt without even thinking about giving him the benefit.
For this full, complete demonstration, please visit Willie D Live. For this full, complete demonstration, please visit Willie D Live, where you could get the complete demonstration that Willie D gave. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Drop a comment in the comment section. Salute everybody.